What's up, and welcome to the Los Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Eslam, aka Rock God of the Sun, accompanied by Dan, Papa Sun Killer, and Dan Emperor Disco. How's it going, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
Oh, sorry. I was not ready to. Hello.
You're on a podcast.
I'm on a podcast. That's what I do.
You look like you're petting your dog or something.
No, my phone went off. I'm like, why is my phone going off? Okay, so we're
Oh,
good.
is that what that was? I thought mine went off.
Oh
I
no,
literally
mine's
looked at
silent. It lit. I saw the light.
Oh, okay.
I just gotta say, I really dig the beards, everybody.
I'm probably gonna cut it off tomorrow. But
Nice,
yeah,
thick and full.
Powerful.
Hey, it is what it is. It's there now. It's
Yeah.
forever.
Happy birthday, Henry.
Happy birthday, Henry. Also, man, they're just attacking us in the chat, huh?
Yeah.
Well, what happened?
How dare you? You said it's
Oh.
not Wednesday.
Yeah, guys. So we had a last minute schedule change to accommodate Disco. That's why we're recording today, and that's why we didn't do it yesterday.
It's all my fault.
No, it's not your fault, bro. We adulting out here trying to survive.
Just try and get through the day.
For real though. Shit, I'm still working. So after this podcast, I'm gonna get back. After this podcast,
You always say podcast. I love that.
I'm gonna get back to it. Jesus,
Disco, what's wrong with you, baby? What's wrong, Disco?
I don't know.
I feel like Disco's wife is just breaking all the plates.
Just like it's just supposed to be a Wednesday thing. Stop it.
Oh man, that's so funny. But guys, today we're gonna be talking about the Penguin, and we're also gonna be talking about Cobra Kai season 6 part 2.
Yep,
all
those words. All those words. You know
all of the words. I got them from the dictionary. I'm sorry, this was hilarious.
You gotta put that up there. Oh man,
goddamn.
Yeah, if you guys find me dead, I'm perfectly happy. It was not a suicide.
Okay.
I don't like flying pants.
I think she's testing them out before she
just getting some swings in.
Socks guy, I don't know what you mean by the number 9.
I don't know either, but he is behind on the Penguin, so
yeah,
just there is going to be spoilers going on. So 100%. I mean, if that's something that you want to avoid, I completely understand. We completely understand. This goes for everybody. Checking this out, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube or your favorite podcast platform.
Yeah, so definitely gonna be bro.
Like if you're gonna yawn, I got you. I'll fill in the air. Disco could say something. We could be talking. The man said, "No, I got this. Hang on." Yep. So,
because it happened mid-sentence. I commit, bro. I commit no matter what.
Welcome to an episode, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be an episode.
It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those.
I'm driving. That was a typo. All right. Well, stay safe out there.
Yeah, please don't.
No car accidents, Jack.
Yeah. All right. So, which one do you guys want to start off with? You guys want to start off with the Cobra Kai or the Penguin?
I almost want to invoke the chaotic energy of your tiredness, and save Cobra Kai for later.
Okay. So let's start off with the Penguin then. Initial thoughts without spoilers. Loved every second of that show. It was phenomenal. The writing was great. I loved the build-up. I loved the take that they took with Oswald Cobblepot. Definitely took a different iteration of him from the comic books, at least that I'm used to reading. And I loved it. I loved it. It was gritty. It was placed perfectly within the universe that Matt Reeves is building for the Batman trilogy that he's doing. It put Oz on the map for the Batman, and I can't wait to see more. I don't know if they're gonna be doing a season 2. I don't know. My guess would be is that they might create another show after the second Batman movie. Um, whether it's the Penguin season 2 doing other stuff with whatever happens in the second Batman movie or just a whole different other show, whatever the name might be, just to expand on the universe more. So I kinda like this if they keep the same rhythm, the Batman movies, Batman is up front and center, and then the shows can be about his rogue gallery, like behind the scenes, the cops, the rogue gallery. I kinda would love that very much, like, 1 Batman movie, 1 show, 1 Batman movie, another show, kind
Mm.
of expanding on the rogue gallery, building things up, building up the stories in the background to help move the stories of the movies forward without having to do too much within the movie and, like, you know, not have people kinda be confused on what happened, you know? Mm, the backdraw to that would be like, okay, now you have to watch the shows to kinda maybe, but I feel like they can do it in a way where you don't have to fully watch the show, but it would help understand more, but I don't know. That's my thought on it. It kinda just came to me now, so it's not fully fleshed out, but I'm sticking with it. I like it. Yeah. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next, I guess.
Okay.
Or
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted me to. That's why I was waiting. Sorry.
I was gonna see if you were gonna step up. I don't know.
My bad.
My wife's about to pull out the vacuum. Hold up.
So you want Dan to go?
I could go if there's a vacuum.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. All right. Like I legit don't know. Like
I just I agree with Eslam. The show was pretty good. I enjoyed it all the way through, and the writing was phenomenal. The script was amazing, but most of all, I just was blown away by Colin Farrell. He like every time I was watching it, I was like, "There's no way that's Colin Farrell." Even though like the accent, like he has that like Gotham and kind of New Yorker kind of accentish, and also like Kristen Milioti. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I thought she played like kind of like a good villain. Yeah. And even Victor, I kind of like was on the fence about Victor, but then no
Just don't
spoilers,
spoil
like
anything,
stuff happened, and I was kind of okay at the end, like how it turned out. But overall, just I think the acting blew me away. That's what stand out to me. The characters, they came to life. You really they were compelling. You could feel their depth, and I enjoyed that all the way through.
Dan, before you go, I just wanna say
Mhm.
to Sox guy, you might be the only person here who's watched Gotham. Um, I did not give that show a chance. I probably won't. So I don't know if you're right, but I highly doubt it. Because it was a CW show, and I highly doubt they did better than fucking Matt Reeves. But I don't know. I don't know.
My
Sorry,
dad was
Dan.
a big Gotham fan. I saw a few
Yeah,
episodes here and there. Honestly, it wasn't my jam. Like I
yeah.
couldn't get into
Me
it.
either. I tried watching it. I just couldn't. I
Yeah.
couldn't.
Yeah, I just never even thought twice about it.
I
Yeah.
gave it a shot. It's just I my big thing with Gotham, I've said it a million times. It's like if it was a show that didn't focus on, I guess spoilers for Gotham.
Mhm.
From what I do know, unless I'm mistaken, at the end of the show, he's Batman, and
Mm.
he's also like I don't even know if he's in high school. So it's like what like the whole time we're watching the show, it's like at first they introduce Jada Pinkett Smith's character, and I was like, hey,
Mhm.
that's cool because they created a new character in this
Yeah.
world. I was like, that's what you should do in this show.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're also gonna have the Penguin and Joker and this and that. And I was like, no. So you're telling me that when Bruce becomes like 30 years old, he's fighting what, like 70-year-old villains? Like that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Like that's the thing that every time I would watch what my dad's watching, like this doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah, yeah.
they can't do anything at this point. They're gonna be like extremely old when he's in his prime. Like
It's
what
just
are they
gonna
gonna
be
do?
like a prime
Yeah.
30-year-old Batman beating a
And
geriatric Joker.
exactly. And Gotham's response to me was, no, we're just gonna make him Batman when he's still not even legally a man. Like
Yeah.
I guess, but I don't know. That's is what it is. Yeah, so the Penguin. It was cool. It was all right. Joker was a kid in that show, and so was Catwoman. I'll give you that. But like everybody else. But no, like I enjoyed the show. The acting was great. Um, I normally try to watch shows weekly. I don't like binging things, with the
Mhm.
exception of Cobra Kai. I'll get to that later. But yeah, I don't really binge shows, so I was gonna watch it week to week, and I saw like the first two episodes of The Penguin.
Mhm.
Was not compelled to watch episode 3 or 4 or 5, or pretty much I caught up like right before the last episode.
Mm.
And I was like, well, I got to binge it. And it's one of those things where it's like I binged it and caught up because of the podcast that
Mm.
I knew we were going to have to talk about it. That was my reasoning. I was eventually going to go back to the show, but if I wasn't doing a podcast, I still wouldn't have caught up with the show. Like it was fun, it was cool and everything, but not enough to the point that it had me hooked. Like this show at no point ever had me hooked. I liked it for what it was, but I don't know. It was fun. I do like this world. It's called the what did Matt Reeves call it? The Epic Crime Saga, I think it was.
Oh,
That's what this universe is called.
nice.
So I do like it. I love the Batman movie. I love these
Mhm.
characters. I love what they did with oh man, I forgot the character's name, the daughter Falcone. Uh
Sophia Falcone?
Sophia.
so yeah, like this iteration of Sophia is very different from what I've read in comics. So it's
Yeah,
like
same.
I do like this kind of iteration. Like usually she's like a big bruiser, like she
Mhm.
could take you down physically, and she's not
Yeah,
that. She's tiny, but she just like
yeah.
manipulative, and she knows what she's doing. So the characters are cool and all, but I feel like as I don't know, I feel like the to me the stakes were never there. It was just kind of like it is what it is, you know.
Mhm.
How do you feel about the Penguin as a character, just in normal, like in general?
I've never been the biggest Penguin fan. I always like it's funny because my dad he watched Gotham. I'm sorry, well he did, but he watched the Penguin and he enjoyed it and he even asked me like how accurate is this? I'm like it's not 100% accurate. Like it is kind of a little bit different from what I'm used to.
Mhm.
And I always told him the way I look at the Penguin is you look at all the rogues villains, the rogues gallery of Batman's crew, and it's like you have all these different types of villains. To me, the person who runs the crime scene, who runs the mob, who runs the organized crime in Gotham, the top of that is the Penguin. Like that's the way I've always looked at it.
Mhm.
Where it's like you have the Joker, he's the wild, chaotic guy. Two Face has his own brand of justice. Scarecrow's trying to bring fear into it, but as far as the organized crime goes in the world of Gotham,
Yeah.
that's the Penguin. That's
Mhm.
his domain. And yeah, I was even telling my dad, it's just I feel like this is probably my favorite portrayal of the Penguin. And I feel like if you take this Penguin and then you take the old 1960s Burgess Meredith Penguin and you combine those two, you're going to get the most accurate form of the Penguin. If you take Colin Farrell and Burgess Meredith and mix it into one, but it's an interesting character. Not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination, but he is fun to watch and see what he's going to do, even in the comics.
Yeah. To answer Henry's question, it takes place after the movie.
Yep.
Um. Okay. That's an interesting take. I mean, I know you're usually not a fan of shows, so
Yeah.
I wasn't honestly expecting praises from you.
I mean, it
But,
was good, yeah. But
no, but to Dan's point, Colin Farrell was just I was in disbelief the whole time. Like you said, he was phenomenal. For the story, I guess one major part of the Penguins' backstories, which they didn't include, right? They just stayed upon the crime factor of him. But originally, Oswald Cobblepot is one of the, well, not him, but the Cobblepots are one of the founding families of Gotham. So they're like up there with the Waynes, and I forget who are the other families, but and like the Hush, I forget
I was
what's
about to
her.
say I can't remember Hush's name right now, but
Yeah.
Hush's
So
family.
Hush is also one of the families of the founding families of Gotham. They founded the city of Gotham. They built it up. They're like the richest families in Gotham. The Cobblepots ended up losing their wealth in some way, shape, or form. I think it changes depending on the story and who's telling it. But that's a very big um I part of the Penguin's identity within the comic books. Here it was interesting because he was just, his mother was running numbers or cooking books for the mob. He grew up in that. He ended up doing some stuff. He ended up going into the business and then slowly conniving and scheming and taking his place at the top of like the crime, like Dan said, running the crime in Gotham, like the drugs, the whatever, all types of crime. Different from the other Batman rogue gallery. Joker's, like Dan said, is chaos. He just wants to destroy shit, fuck shit up, and fuck with Batman. Clayface has his own thing, and all the other. Mr. Freeze wants to bring his wife back, but there everybody has like a thing, and the
Yeah, their
Penguin's
own
thing is
motives.
crime. Yeah,
Yeah.
their own motive. Um, uh, I guess what this movie kind of did is that Matt Reeves took a page out of Christopher Nolan's book, where he concentrated on really like one idea of the character and bring it to the forefront, which is like the crime. Like with Christopher Nolan's Batmans, he really wanted to concentrate on um like what's the word I want to use? Like tying Batman down into reality, like
Okay. Yeah,
into
it's the more realistic approach. Yeah.
yeah. So that's why Bane wasn't juicing. The Joker was just a psycho, which he is anyways. Um, and stuff like that. He didn't really go with anything
No,
too
it was
out of.
grounded in reality. That's what I was trying
Yes,
to say.
thank you.
Sorry.
Grounded in reality. That's what I
Yeah.
was looking for as well. With this one, it's grounded in crime, so everything has to do, from what we've seen so far, with like the crime families, the Falcones, the Maronis, the Penguin. Catwoman is a thief, so it's going this way. And there Socks guy, if you're still on, you should hop off because we're about to get into spoilers. One thing, I don't know if Dan you noticed it, um the ending of the show when he was in the courtroom, and they hinted to what seems like the Court of Owls.
Mm,
He was in the courtrooms. All the drapery in the courtrooms were shaped like owls. um And if this is gonna be, let's say, the main villain either in Batman 2 or like the final main storyline was, but it dealt with the, again, kind of crime, but like the elites that control everything behind the scenes from for Gotham, and also like just assassinating people left and right using their soldiers, the Talons. So I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know how he's gonna use the Court of Owls in the story of the Batman, but I'm very excited to see that. Um, I really loved the path Sophia went on. She got her revenge. She was like um, slowly getting her revenge, but she was still outsmarted by Oz, and then I thought he was gonna kill her, but he did something worse, and he ended up sending her back to the loony bin,
no,
which for her that's worse than death.
no.
Um, so I thought that was like nice and poetic. Um, Also, she gets a letter at the end from Selena Kyle, her half
I was
sister.
waiting for that the whole show. Not gonna lie,
So that was
for something
exciting.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, when are they gonna show like they showed in the movie, they revealed it that
yeah,
Selena Kyle is like a daughter of
yeah,
Falcone. So like, when is this happening? So the
yeah,
fact that they ended off on it was interesting.
yeah. So that was very exciting. Can't wait to see how they're gonna use that in the second movie, if they put it off in the second movie. Maybe they wait
Mhm.
longer, but or maybe they wait until another show to come back to that relationship. Um, the other thing, Dan, do you think the doctor was Scarecrow, Sophia's doctor?
The one
It-
you're asking me?
yeah,
I
this one
don't
doesn't
know.
read Batman comics.
Okay. I don't know, because the whole time, like, it's funny because, like I said, I since I didn't watch the show week to week like
Mhm.
like I was originally going to, and listening to other podcasts and stuff like that, who like every other podcast, they're like, "Oh man, have you seen the Penguin? The Penguin." And it's like it just keeps on getting hyped up over and over. I think that also added to it. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, great."
Mm.
But anyway, like they kept on talking. I got my wires mixed because a
Mm.
Batman video game just came out,
Mm.
a VR one, and the Scarecrow's in it, and it's voiced by Elijah Wood. He's
Oh,
the Scarecrow.
interesting.
So I don't know what happened. I start watching the show, and then when I catch up to it, or when I start rewatching it, episode 3, I think it was, and they introduced this drug. She's like, "It's this drug I used in Gotham." I'm like, this is where Elijah Wood comes in. So I'm here watching the show. I was like, okay, I get it. This is the thing where it's like this is the fear toxin or whatever it's called.
Well, it's called bliss, but I would understand how he can manipulate it
Yeah.
to
Oh no, yeah,
show
exactly.
fear instead of bliss.
But yeah, the whole time I'm just waiting for the reveal of Elijah Wood, and like this is fear toxin, and then by like episode like 2 or 3 episodes before the end, I was like, wait, that was the Batman video game. Elijah Wood's not in the show. But no, I don't know if what threw me off was that, and the fact that his first name was Julian. And damn it, if you're in the Batman universe and your name is Julian, I can't help but think you have some connection or tie into the Calendar Man. And I love that what's it called? Henry put it in the chat. It was like, oh, they should do a Calendar Man. I was like, hey, there's a Julian in a Batman show. Just
maybe
saying.
it was a misdirection.
It could have been. Well, did you catch the other villain?
I don't remember.
So the Penguin's love interest, I guess you could say.
Yes.
You called her last name?
Don't
Carlo.
remember.
Carlo.
Okay, I don't know.
As in Basil Carlo, the Clayface, the man who can change his face, the lady who can change her thing, like there's a connection to Clayface that's in there.
Nice.
And that was revealed in the last episode.
Okay.
So like honestly, when you were talking about Court of Owls, I didn't catch
because
that.
she was dressed like his mother. Oh, that's a good one.
So like that's what I thought you were going to talk about, because I didn't catch the Court of Owls stuff. I'm gonna be honest. When I was watching the show, I was like in and out. I'd be watching. I'm making a steak. The only one that I like, I would like, that was the one where I just happened to look at it and I forgot where it was. It said Carlo somewhere. I was like, oh shit. And then you see the thing where she dresses up like the mom. I was like, oh shit, she's a Carlo.
That's a good one. I did not catch that. Ooh, I like this. I like this.
So yeah, but
really nicely placed Easter eggs from Matt Reeves.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know if he's Scarecrow, but hey, if they twist some shit around
options.
and he's,
there's options.
Yeah.
The reason why I ask is because I saw someone post something showing like a mask in the background, or like a glove that was eerily similar to like the shit he wears to make himself look even scarier when you're on the fear toxin and stuff. And that it's a good point that you brought up with like the bliss, like, it makes you happy, and I'm sure he can, use that same thing and turn it into something that makes you very fearful. But that's very, very cool. Ooh, those are some nice Easter eggs, man. I'm excited for the Batman too, bro. Can't wait till 2026.
I've been excited. I still listen to that one Nirvana song from the movie regularly. Something in
I've,
the way.
I've watched the movie twice so far. I think I might watch it again. The Penguin made me want to watch it again. So I think
I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen that movie. Not gonna lie. I've seen that movie a lot. I really like that movie.
No, it was perfection, man. I love the shit out of that. And in the Batman movie, they also hinted towards Bane, so that's another.
A couple of things. Yeah, I don't remember all of them, but I remember Bane was something that came up. I think Harvey Dent. I forgot how that came up somehow.
Yeah,
but
probably on the news somewhere.
Maybe. Yeah. But there's a couple things. Another fun fact I want to mention. I just finished rewatching Heels. Once again, anybody who has or has not seen Heels, watch that shit on Netflix. Come on, we need it.
Yes,
but
I need a season 3, guys.
Yeah, so I finished rewatching the season 1 and 2, and it just made me laugh because like it was right after I finished watching The Penguin, where you have what's his name, Ace, where he has like that new character, the Condemned. Remember that?
Mhm.
and he does the thing where it's just like somebody's asking him for his autograph. He's like, it was like, oh man, you're the condemned, like what blah blah blah, and he just says something where it's like, I'm vengeance. And I'm like, isn't that what Batman says? He's like, I taught Batman everything he knows.
It was probably to a little kid, right?
Yeah, it was to a
Yeah,
little kid, and I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, that was hilarious. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't remember that scene, but yeah.
I guess like my final thoughts on Penguin
Oh, we doing
is
final thoughts on
Disco
Penguin?
or
said,
are
I'm
we
done.
going there,
Disco
or
said, I'm done talking about this
maybe
show.
not final thoughts, but just my thoughts, I guess, my 2 cents.
You
'Cause
better
I don't
have
got
something
much.
else after
I
this.
don't got
You
much.
better have something else after.
I don't have all those Easter eggs that you guys have, but from what I saw,
Mhm.
I really enjoyed the background on Penguin. How he like killed his brothers and how
Yes.
he had
That
this
was
like
cool. That was cool.
weird Oedipus love for his mom, and
Mhm.
meanwhile she knows that he killed his brothers, so she like low key hates him the whole way through. It's like that whole build up until that one scene where he actually found out, and like
Yeah.
that I really enjoyed that part of the writing and the script. It was really cool getting that background and that weird Oedipus love just blew me away too. He
Yeah.
just loves her, and even at the end when spoilers, but where when she was like a vegetative state and she's
Yeah.
just like, this is what we wanted, right? Like, and she's just staring
Yeah.
out a window,
Yeah.
like just it blew me away.
And
Some of
then,
those scenes just really took me
he
away.
goes in the next room and his girlfriend is dressed like his mom
Yeah,
exactly,
Yeah.
and looks like her
yep.
too.
The craziest, like just
Yeah.
all of that was insane to watch. And another thing was the whole season, what I was getting kind of turned off by Victor because I was like, he's too soft for this life. And like, granted, he was pivotal, but I was just like, as a character, like I don't know, I just felt he was too soft. And then like spoilers, when he got killed, I was like, that is the perfect way to go for like between them. And like,
Yeah.
it kind of shows you how cold the Penguin is too. Like he just didn't want
Oh, yeah.
any ties to
No
anybody,
weakness.
and exactly. And I was just like that I did not see that coming, and it was just so perfect when it happened.
Yeah.
I was just like, because I was on the fence about him, so I was just like, now I don't even know. He made the decision for me. Now I don't need to choose how to feel. He's like he's where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But one thing you just made me think of though, when you mentioned like the mom, one thing I wanted to say, remember when she even told him, like that was a big thing. She's like, I'm starting to lose my mind. If it gets to that point, promise you're gonna end it. You're not
Yeah.
gonna let me be in that state.
Yeah.
But as you see throughout the entire show, he says that he wants to do all these things because he wants to be the great man. He wants to do this. At the end of the day, this Oz Cobb, he's selfish. And he has proven time and time again throughout the season he is selfish. Every time you think he's doing something for someone, he's really looking out for himself. And
Yeah.
I feel like at the very end, when you see like when he, like, especially after his mom, like you love your mom so much, that's the thing that she really wants. She doesn't want to be left in that condition. So what do? You just put her in front of a big window and say, "Here you go. I did it for you, ma."
Yeah.
So it's just at the end, it's just like putting the stamp on, like, yeah, he's only looking out for his interest and his needs, despite what anybody else wants. Yeah.
No, definitely. And I felt like that not slowly became apparent, but like I feel like that selfishness kept
You got it.
growing um as the show went on. Like he was getting more selfish as with every episode, or
Mhm.
it was at least coming out and people were starting to finally see him for who he really is. um but yeah, no, I mean there's a lot of layers to this show, especially with the writing. I think it was just like perfectly done. um yeah, it was just very enjoyable. I'm just super happy with Matt Reeves and what he's been able to accomplish so far with a movie and an 8 episode series for this whole universe he's building, and it's becoming very rich universe, and I can't wait to see more. I'm excited to see what James Gunn is going to do for The Brave and the Bold. So let's see how that goes. I guess we're getting a Batman movie with Robin out the gate. So that should be interesting. It's never been done before. And yeah, super excited. Can't wait for
Yeah.
the new DC universe to start. Creature Commandos on HBO Max.
I mean,
Let's go.
yes, I want to see that show, but I don't know if that's the smart move starting with that. Just
Yeah.
saying.
I mean that's how it that's how the universe is starting. But yes, you know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the
I don't. Yeah,
first
I
that's the
feel like
first
they could have done
installment.
something else
It's
instead of Creature
okay.
Commando.
He's. I mean, I guess it'll really start with the new Superman movie when it comes out next year. I think, but
I guess. Yeah.
they're right now they're starting it with Creature Commandos.
Real quick, my final thoughts. Like Disco had,
Mhm.
for the Penguin. I do want to say, like, yes, while the show, like, one of my biggest things that I feel like with this is the fact that it's a mob show, it's a crime
Mhm.
show, and I like mob movies, I like crime related
Mhm.
movies and stuff like that. So that's one of the things where it's just like you got some big shoes to fill, and you did not come close in the
Yeah,
in the slightest.
I
Like
saw someone compare it
Sopranos.
to The Sopranos. It was
Hmm.
like it's trying to be The Sopranos, and I've never seen The Sopranos. I know slightly what it's about.
Yeah.
Um,
Spoilers for The Sopranos. Now, I've tried watching it a little bit here and there. I'm actually in the process I just finished season 1 today. So I'm like in the process of watching it.
Congrats.
Thank you. It was a long trek. Now, tell you this. So you have this guy who's in the mob who's worried about what his mom thinks,
mm,
and he's constantly trying to he's trying to do what he can to take care of her and find his place in there and everything. And in the end, he finds out that his mom has this burning hatred for him and wants him dead. Which show
oh
did I describe? I described both of them.
yeah,
Damn.
I
Okay.
see. I
Okay.
didn't know that, so I don't know why
Yeah.
people were really
Yeah.
going in about it. But yeah, so okay, comparing season one
I
of the
just stole the plot.
comparing season one of The Sopranos and this season of The Penguin,
Yeah.
like, how do you compare them?
If I mean, one of them set in the fictional world of Gotham, which, like I told you guys before, apparently it's in the state of New Jersey.
Yes, I know. That's
But
fantastic.
yeah, we grew up in Gotham. But
Mhm.
you got that, and then you have ironically Sopranos, which takes place in various parts of New Jersey, one of which is Elizabeth.
Hey, let's go.
So yeah, so it's yeah, like it was cool. Like you get to see two settings I'm familiar with. But Sopranos had that slow burn. It's one of those shows, think of it like a Breaking Bad, where it starts off
Mhm.
slow and then you kind of increase, you get to there. And once you get to that season finale, it's like, oh shit, he just found out about his mom. His uncle June is trying to put a hit out on him. He's dealing with this whole thing with the secretary. There's like a lot of shit that's going in there. It's like there's a culmination.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that in the Penguin too, but I feel like once again, the stakes weren't there. And I think my biggest thing is, let's be honest, did we think that Colin Farrell was in any jeopardy at any point in the show? I didn't.
I guess. Hmm.
Like, not at one point did I think, oh, Penguin ain't gonna survive this.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I never
There
had
were no
that. Yeah.
stakes, not at any point. And it's
Okay.
like
I
the other
mean,
characters, they're all minor enough where you could write them off and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess that you can say that's what was wrong with it, but I mean, I don't know. I
I
guess
mean,
I gotta
and that's
watch
no
The
fault of the
Sopranos.
show, you know.
No, no.
Yeah.
I just gotta watch The Sopranos to compare it. But it was I don't know. I didn't see it as a mob show.
Mm,
I didn't see it as it was trying to be a mob show. I saw it as a comic book show developing this character who eventually becomes like the kingpin of crime.
it's like a
And
penguin origin story to me.
yeah, so I don't know why would I compare it to The Sopranos. Like, I mean, sure it has. I mean, obviously they had the same storyline, but this one was set in Gotham, and but,
I mean, granted,
It had a
there's a
lot of
lot
other
more
twists and
that, yeah,
turns.
they both had very other,
yeah,
like, there was no Vic in the Sopranos. Well, oh shit, no, he's different. So there was no Vic in the Sopranos, but it's like there was shit in the Sopranos that wasn't in Gotham. So they're definitely their own thing. It's
yeah,
just, it is the, so I mean, it's just set in that world. It's not like to me, it wasn't. I mean, everybody's gonna interpret it differently, obviously.
sure, one
To
hundred
me, it
percent.
wasn't comic booky
Okay,
because the movie wasn't. To me, the Batman wasn't comic booky. Yes, it was very accurate to the comics. The
yeah,
portrayal was close, but at the end of the day, it is
yeah,
a crime drama.
hmm
you know, and I feel like this was also a crime drama. Like that's so far, that's how I'm seeing this universe, where it's like I can't help but compare it to that. I'm gonna compare this more to the Untouchables than I will to the Justice League.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's kind of the way I've been portraying this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't know. I guess I'll have to watch The Sopranos to be able to see
No.
what you see, but I don't know.
No.
It's not that it wasn't comic booky to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um I think it was comic book enough. The fact that it was like, especially with the Batman movie, the fact that it had like such accuracies to the comic books made it comic booky to me. Like it was just, I was like, finally, like one of our best comic book adaptations on the big screen.
No.
Um, and I feel like this followed through. I feel like if you did like an 8 issue comic book about the Penguin, um,
This would
this
fit.
would fucking come very very close
Yeah.
to that.
No,
So
100%.
to me that is what this show was, and that's what the Batman movie was, and
No.
it's not that comparable to uh The Godfather,
Oh, no.
Sopranos,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want to
Careful when you
compare
put
it
the
to.
Godfather out there. Right? There's...
I mean, you know what
No,
I mean
I'm
though.
joking. I'm
Yeah,
joking. Yeah.
but like to that sort of like crime,
Yeah.
like um that romanticizing of like Italian mob
Yeah. Yeah.
crime. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just that's my final thoughts.
No.
We could move on to the Cobra Kai now.
No.
But go check out the Penguin. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, we all loved certain things about it. I loved it wholly, like it was my
Yeah.
child, and I'm kidding. It
It
was
was like
like
the neighbor's kid to me. I was like, you know, I'll look out for you if I got to, but you know, you're not my responsibility.
I've never been a big fan of the Penguin, but by the end, I was like, okay, Penguin's pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
it gave the character a little more oomph in my
Yeah.
internal book.
Penguin has had some interesting storylines in the comic books. So
I know all of media, Penguin's been kind of all over the place, really.
yeah.
When you look at it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Dan, why don't you start us off with Cobra Kai?
Sure. Cobra Kai season 6, part 2, episodes 5 through 10. No,
Yes,
6
sir.
through 10, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it's still a karate sitcom.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's still that fun, weird, why is this happening show. Like they're in their version of like a non-fatal kumite, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yo,
yeah,
thank you for saying that.
yeah,
Because every time someone said Saikai Taikai, all
yeah.
I heard in my ears was like, "Huada!"
Yeah,
Yeah, like the
yeah.
Kumite from
Oh
Boondocks.
yeah. So it's like they're in this high school kumite, and
Yeah.
then it's just like you're watching, you're trying to figure out what's going on. It's just like, oh, Daniel LaRusso gets kidnapped and put in a dog cage in a
Yeah.
kettle.
Yep.
Spoilers, by the way. Um,
Spoilers, yeah.
But yeah, it's like you'll see that, and then just like, oh yeah, that mystic knife that what's his name, Kreese got from part
Kreese.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that keeps on popping up, and it's just like this man's just walking around with a blade at a child's competition.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. We saw somebody willingly give themselves diarrhea. We
To
also
mend
saw
a
some
friendship.
yeah, like we saw some good fighting, I guess. And like I texted you guys in the group chat, there was a lot of Rocky in this in this show. I mean, like there's always been a connection between Karate Kid and Rocky, but man, they went for it. They went for it hard this season, but I enjoyed it. It's still one of those things. Like I am not going to ever look at this and take it seriously. I'm always going to go in there. I'm just having a good time, having fun. This is probably the one show I can binge. I literally like a new Cobra Kai drops. I watched all this the day it dropped. All of it right there. And I've done that almost every time. I think at most it's taken me 2 days to watch one season of Cobra Kai. So it comes out. It's like it's good junk TV.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? So like that's what it comes down to. But yeah, that's yeah.
Me personally, I'm kind of bored of it already. I feel like every season's very similar, or part two of the season. It's like literally just the same drama with just new tournaments. And granted, they did
I
have
feel
that
like
twist
that's
at the
what
end.
Dragon Ball Z became to me at some point.
So yeah, I don't know. It just seems kind of repetitive, and I'm kind of just like now. All the karate looks the same to me. I'm just like, oh, here, ha, ho, hey, and it's just to me, I don't know. I guess I could have lived without it. I'm not looking forward to the
I feel
next
like I'm
season.
glad that it's ending. I'm glad that it's like part
Yes,
three.
I think it. I think it needs to end.
Exactly, and they
It's
know
the
that.
same people like over and over again. It's like spoilers, like Kreese and Silverback. Like it's the same people, like just recycled, and tournaments and kids fighting and old people fighting. And
I'm always gonna get excited for a Terry Silver return. I discovered that watching this. As soon as he popped out, I was like, "Let's fucking go, Terry Silver! Let's go!"
I love seeing Kreese fight. He's like it's me to me, but like
that man can
just
barely walk.
seeing these old people fight, I'm just like, dude.
Geriatric karate.
Oh man.
Silver still got it.
Silver
still got it.
He's the one person in the series, or one of the only people in the series that actually can fight. And I've said this since the movie. Like, if you go back and look at all the movies, he's legit doing shit. Like, it was like they actually picked a man. I feel like they hired a dude who was like, hey, we need somebody who can maybe kind of act and do this. And they're like, okay, your acting is like, it's all right. So let's just go ridiculously big, like comic book villain. And you just keep doing martial arts because you're good at that. So Terry Silver's just perfect. He's perfect.
Every time he
like
cuts to Silver too, he's got like a cigar and it's got like this crazy like vibe to it. It's like,
dude, he's a comic book villain.
He really is. He really is.
Love
Silver's a fun character.
It's just, I think what Disco said was my complaint last time we reviewed the first part of season 6. And yeah, man, it's just like the kids are like taking turns being the bad guy, and and then forgiving themselves, and this person sucks and now this person's better, whatever. I don't know. It's just
Then that one kid went to MIT and he says it every chance he can get. Like,
yeah. I'm just like, what?
The same
the
stuff.
The only reason like he won in that tournament for them to go to the Sakai Taikai was so that he can still be like on screen, because like otherwise he would have been like let go. I guess he had a couple more episodes under his contract, so they had to find a way to fucking get him on there, bro. But I'm just
his character is interesting enough. I mean, it's okay. When I talk about what I like about the show, do you guys notice I barely talk about the kids?
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about everything else, like the kids fighting, which is the main crux of the show.
Yeah,
it's the majority of the show,
but it's everything else that I like. I was like, "What's it called?" When you have Chosen showing up drunk.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I was like, "Let's go, Chosen."
He's like, "Give me 2 Long Island iced tea, one for this fisto and one for this fisto." I was like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like Cobra Kai. It's like. What's a good comparison? Fast and the Furious. So hear me out.
Hear me out. Guilty pleasures.
No, so that's the thing. Fast and the Furious is bad. I don't care what anybody says.
When Cobra Kai goes to space, we can compare it to Fast and the Furious. I want karate in space, Dan.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We're getting the Jackie Chan and Daniel LaRusso movie. It's happening.
Oh yeah.
Fight some karate aliens. No show no mercy.
But what's it called? When you look at Fast and the Furious, Eslam knows I have been from day one saying this is a bad series. I feel like we've gotten to a point where some people have actually started to understand that. It took a couple years, but people are finally starting to realize, yeah, this actually isn't good. It actually never was actually good. Is it fun? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it good? No. So that's Fast and the Furious. But here's the difference. Cobra Kai is the same thing, right? Cobra Kai knows how ridiculous it is, and it feeds into it. Fast and the Furious thinks it's cool. That's the problem. Fast and Furious is like, yeah, we're badass. We're going to be like, no, you're not. Just stop. Vin Diesel put on a black shirt and a chain and shut the fuck up. Like, you're not that cool, all right? Relax. Like, Fast and Furious has always had that stigma where it's just like, yeah, we're badass. We got this, that, and the other. It was like, you've been lame since you stole the VCR DVD players.
Damn.
Like, Cobra Kai jumped in there ridiculous and knows it's ridiculous and leans into it. That's why I love it so much.
Oh, that's so funny.
So yeah, that's how I compare it. It's like a similar concept, but it's just one of them makes fun of itself, and the other one takes itself ridiculously serious.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh God.
Cobra Kai never dies.
True. Final thoughts.
I mean, there's a list of things. One, a wrestler is in this one. The Russians that got eliminated. How far into the show did you get, Eslam, by the way?
What's his name? And Miguel are on the plane going back because the mother is in the hospital.
So like 3 episodes.
Not
okay. There's like a Russian group that's in there, and they get various reasons they get kicked out. The lady who in charge of that, like that's Britt Baker from AEW. It's like as I'm watching the show, she says something in a bad Russian accent, and I'm legit like, was that Britt Baker? Who's from Pittsburgh? Like, why is she the Russian? And then it's like I was like, I guess she's not coming back, and she does a couple of times. The Russians all come back, but you have that, and what else did I want to say? Oh, the Rocky stuff. Like, I don't know how well you. Well, never mind. So there's this movie called Rocky. Right.
yeah.
But in Rocky 2, that's the one where Adrian is sick when she gives birth to the boy, and Rocky's like, I'm not going to train, I'm not going to do anything. They literally ripped that from this movie and put it in Cobra Kai. So you have Diego's mom, she's sick or whatever. They get to the hospital. I guess spoilers for you, Eslam. But
she has the baby.
She has the baby, and they're like, listen, we're not going back to the tournament. We're going to stay here with you. And she literally says Adrian's dialogue, like word for word. She's like, come here. I want you to do one thing for me. Win. And I was like, dude, that's literally from the movie. Like, literally word for word. I thought I heard the bell ring in the Rocky theme. But, I mean, you have that. You have, like, the strong they not Ivan Drago, but they put Victor Drago in there. Where you have the what's his name, the guy from the Mortal Kombat new movie that's in this movie in the show now,
the Iron something team,
the guy who's like
Dragons.
the unstoppable, the Iron Dragons, the guy who's like the unstoppable guy, the big tall white guy with the blonde hair, Victor fucking Drago. Literally, it's the Victor Drago storyline where his father abuses him, and he wants to become a thing. So I was like, boom, you got that. I mean, it's just nothing but Rocky stuff. They're training montages. It's like, and you guys know I love Rocky, so. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I like Rocky.
Nice. Disco.
They did
Final
not
thoughts.
play Hearts on Fire.
It needs to end. I think
Put it out of its misery.
It's gone long enough. You can only use the same characters with the same dramas and the same villains so much. Like. I know they're slowly introduced to people, but now it's just like recycling, and you know, it's not the worst. You know, it is fun, like you said, but I guess I'm just kind of over it. Yeah.
No, rightfully so.
I'm even more over it because I binged like the first 5 seasons back to back to back, and listen, man, the first few seasons were great. They were a lot of fun. It held me. It held my attention, and now it's kind of like, all right, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap.
Who's gonna betray who now? What tournament's next?
Now, Eslam, what if I told you somebody actually died this time?
Did they all die?
No.
The way it happened too was so funny.
The way it happened was just like, okay, like. I guess.
Oh, right. I had read an article about someone confirming that a character died or some shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kreese's knife came into play.
It was the funniest. Yeah, honestly. I laughed so hard when it happened, which is terrible because He just
Yeah,
died.
but this is one of those shows where like, it's fine. Like,
Just the way it happened was so. The way they led up to the moment where Daniel's just like makes eye contact, and
like
it's
he's
just
looking
so
at things like,
dramatic.
no, stop it. Yeah, no, Eslam, because the season it ends with a karate battle royal.
Okay.
Where everybody's just doing karate. A lot of,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know that like German judge that they have called Gunther, like he's
Yeah.
doing karate. Like legit, everybody is doing karate in this universe.
Everybody's brawling, karate brawl,
Yo, for real, bro.
It's
free for all, karate brawl.
I just
That's hilarious.
I'm also glad it's ending. As much as I enjoy the show, it needs to end.
Yeah.
But what if I told you guys that I so you know how Hawk is called Hawk?
Yeah.
I need Hillary Swank to be revealed as his mom because she had a pet hawk. Like that's what it comes down to. That's all I want.
That's
Like the show is gonna end, and you need to do one stupid joke because of this fucking
yeah. Maybe
moronic
she
show.
just never wanted to.
But that's what I'm saying. She doesn't. All she has to do, because I need Hillary Swank to be in the show. Like I need that to happen. And we only got like 5 more episodes, guys, if that. So it's like all we
Watch
need
her
is just
literally
like
just be at the end.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly. What, I want them to be like, hey, everybody's going home. Yeah. Hey, Hawk, do you need a ride? No, my mom's here. Hillary Swank and the show.
Big reveal.
Like that's what I need.
Yeah,
That's what I want. But yeah,
that would be hilarious.
that's all I want.
If that happens, I would die laughing. I think I would. Like, you called that shit.
Oh Lord, I hope it does happen, bro.
No, I do too.
You know what?
Just be there
If
for 2
that
seconds,
happens,
Yeah.
if that happens, that's you winning 3 years in a row in the draft, and we can finally get trophies.
Oh God, I'm not even getting into that.
All right, well, thank you for listening to Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you hear, follow us on social media. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review. Go check out our YouTube channel. Guys on Twitch, thank you for joining us live. We appreciate you. It's always fun hanging out. Thank you for listening. Have a great week.